welcome back to FBM Maine Outdoor Journal. Just giving you a little late summer food plot update. I hadn't done an update since we finished planting. As you can see, I'm in one of our sunflower plots. This is the plot I decided to put in last minute. This is just with the black oil birdseed from Buck Farms up in Rustic County. We just did a quick germination test in the pail once I saw some sprouting. Did about, I think, about 25 pounds per acre out here. This is just under an acre pot. You can see we got real good germination. We got a few spots out here that didn't germinate, but I think that was just, this was a brand new plot and it was kind of soddy, and I don't think the seed got covered up real well. Some places where the sods didn't turn over real well. But you can see behind me and in front of me here that we got plenty of flowers out here germinating. The bees are busy. Doing a little pollinating for us, so we'll have tons and tons of seed out here. The deer loved these sunflowers last winter down in the lower plot. I'll show you that a little later. They were taking bites right out of the heads after they dried and the snow came, eating those seeds right up. And these Paradovic sunflowers, or black oil sunflower, they're packed with oil and protein and lots of high energy foods. Get those deer, or those, especially those bucks coming off the rut, going into the winter, give them a good little boost. So this is this plot. Got pretty successful for the amount of effort it took. We just did a we didn't even do a soil test on this. I just threw down one 2.5 gallon jug of the Plot Start by Whitetail Institute as a lime alternative. Then I think I threw down 6 bags of 17, I think it was. We just went with that, and this is what we got so far. Now, I'd say we're about, we must be 75-80% bloom right now. There's still quite a few smaller ones that haven't bloomed out yet that are starting to show yellow, but I'd say 75-80% of them are bloomed out. So over the next couple of weeks, the bees will do their bidding and should be able to have a ton of seed. We'll move over to the clover plot. I'll show you what's going on over there. Alright, we're over here at our old clover plot. If you remember earlier on when we was planting the other food plots, this one had a lot of bare spots in it from where the winter greens and beets and greens from last fall had grown in so thick that the clover hadn't germinated real well. And remember I said I was going to mow this pretty heavy this summer to promote the clover growth in them bare spots and also to knock down the weeds. I just mowed this last weekend, and I believe it was the 4th mowing since we planted. And as you can see, it's pretty successful as far as the bare spots filling in. There's really not any bare spots. Might show like there's some bare spots on the camera, but that's just actually just where I mowed some of the weeds. You can see those are right where my wheel tracks were. That's just the wet grass from the, 'cause this was pretty high. This is probably knee deep or better when I bush hogged it this last weekend, so it left a lot of that dead grass in the rows, but she's all filled in. There's no bare spots left, and you can see it's pretty high clover rate. There's still a little bit of grass and weed in there, but not too much. We'll see how it grows the rest of the month. I may end up mowing it one more time right at the end of August to go into, or maybe first or second week of September. It'll be pretty slow growing Pretty slow growing that time of year. I may mow it one more time. We'll see how it grows. And I like it to be just about this 6 to 10 inch height for the going through the fall. Seemed to be where the deer like it pretty good. So filled in nice. Mow and mow and mow. Great thing about clover. We did give it a little light dust and a glossophy. That's a good thing about clover. She don't mind a little Roundup. She might yellow up a little bit, some of the smaller ones, but he'll come right out of it. You can give it a little shot, a little light dose of Roundup, maybe I think I did about 3/4 quart per acre. So you can give it a little shot of that, and you can mow it all you want, and she'll spread out, fill in, and look pretty good for 4 or 5 years anyway. We didn't put any fertilizer on this year. This was going to be one of our plots that we didn't want to do much maintenance on, so didn't do too much. Just mowed it a little bit, give it that light shot. No fertilizer, no lime. All right, we'll move down to the lower field, check out those food plots down there. Alright, we're down at food plot number 3. This is the food plot last year that we did with the Whitetail Institute power plant. We also planted the Whitetail Institute power plant again this year. Kind of mixed results across the plot. If you remembered, we extended the bottom of it out another third acre, give or take. And that section there is kind of lower growth than the upper section, but another reason was that it didn't get as much fertilizer as the upper section did either. So I'm not blaming that on the ground, I'm just blaming it on less fertilizer. Germination, where we had great germination in some spots were kind of sparse. I don't really know what to blame that on, if it was just the didn't get good coverage when we covered up the seed, or what took place there. But I'll show you some of the bad spots. We got some this is a pretty good spot right here. You can see got the sunflowers coming up nice. This is what I like to try to shoot for. This is what I'd like the whole plot to look like. So this whole quarter of the plot looks pretty good like this. So you got sunflowers come up 5, pushing on 6 feet tall, and you get this nice lush soybean here like this. You can see we're starting to paw it out. We still probably got another I'd say at least, I mean, you could get a frost around here technically anytime around the 1st of September, but up on top of this hill, we still got a good solid month where we're going to get a frost up here, unless it's a real oddball year. So these pods should have plenty of time to fill out. But as you can see, those soybeans stand right up good in those sunflowers mixed in like that. They look real well. As you go up along here, you can see the soybeans are nice and green and lush when they grow up in that. I just want to be able to show this to compare you to what it looks like in other parts of the plots where it didn't do so well. So this is ideally what I'm looking for. This does real great. Another thing about this quarter, this is usually one of the last sections that the deer browse on, because it's the furthest away from the wood line where they like to enter the food plots. So this place looks the best because it got the lowest amount of browse pressure. Those deer absolutely love to eat those soybeans when they're green, which you'll see in one of the other food plots, the last food plot, when I take you over there. But this is the ideal section. This is what we like to see, potting out nice. I'll show you some other parts of this particular plot that don't look so nice that we want to try to rectify moving forward. So we'll take a walk over there and I'll show you. All right, we're down the lower end of that same food plot. This is that 3rd acre or so that we added on, that I told you that it was kind of added on after we put our amendments and stuff on. So this only got about 50% of the fertilizer the upper section got. And as you can see here, it's nowhere near as great as up above. The sunflowers are only running a belt high, and the soybeans are only running ankle high. But there's also a fair amount of browse pressure down here, but also it's not all browse pressure. Definitely the lower fertilizer amount made a big difference. So there's just no cheaping out with food plots. You got to do your amendments. You got to do your lime or your lime alternatives. You just can't Can't skip. About the only thing that I found that you can get away with a little bit of skipping on amendments is the good old winter rye. Planting that late fall. That's pretty, not very fussy. It'll get by pretty good. I want to try to walk over here and try to show you the line of where the fertilizer rate changed. I don't know if you can see it or not, but over here you can see the full fertilizer amount. Then you should be able to see a pretty clear line down through there of 50% less fertilizer. So that's a pretty good testament right there, I think. Definitely got to get your amendments out there. Also, this upper plot had received lime last year, and it also received a lime substitute, liquid lime substitute this year. This side just received, because this was all new tilled ground, this just received the lime substitute, that plot start by, and that also gave it more, the upper end, more advantage to uptake that nutrients because of the extra lime they had on last year. I can't remember what, I think this upper piece on the soil test that we had was only like 0.2 low. So last year the lime really helped it out. So we got this lower section's a little bland, but it's definitely got some, got good germination on the soybeans. Sunflowers germination wasn't great, but they're out here. They'll get pollinated, they'll produce seed, they'll still produce feed. Just gonna be nowhere near the tonnage like you'd have over, say, in this area here where your sunflowers are doing magnificent. You can just see when you have them great sunflowers how great these soybeans do climbing up them in here. You can just see them, nice dark green leaves. They just grow right up in there real nice together. You can even see some of this sun hemp that grows up in there. You can see some up through there, different places. One thing in this mix that I don't see come up a huge amount is they put a few cowpeas in there, and those never germinate very well, and for some reason they don't cover up well, because when I'm walking around after I drag my seed in, 8 of the 10 seeds that I see that didn't get dragged in are them dark brown cowpeas. I don't know if it's just me or if that's all I notice, but I never see a lot of them germinate up either. So yeah, but I like the sunflowers and I like the soybeans. So we'll go over to, this was all Whitetail Institute power plant, and same thing we planted here last year. That's sunflowers, soybeans, cowpeas, and a little bit of sun hemp. We'll go over to food plot number 4. That's where we planted the real world soybeans. That's a 100% soybean plot. Show you what's going on over there, and see if anything good's going to come out of it. All right, we're over at the last food plot, food plot number 4. This was the 100% real world soybeans. These are Roundup Ready soybeans. The weeds are just starting to come up around the soybeans a little bit now, and I've been just thinking about giving it a spraying. I just hate running through it when it's grown up real nice, but it is coming up where I should give it a little shot of glyphosate. Maybe I'll go out and do that with the backpack sprayer instead of the 4-wheeler. I don't know. Maybe we'll see what it looks like. But anyways, here's the plot. You can see the soybeans. They're not quite as big as the best spots in the other one that come up into the sunflowers, but they come in pretty thick in most places. You can see some spots, like this spot right over here where it's dark green, that got very low germination, and that was a pretty soddy spot that I didn't get worked up real well. If you remember this spot, this was all winter rye this spring that had grown up, and all we did was kept running over this with our old disc. We didn't plow it, and it had never been plowed before. Last year we'd done the no-till winter rye, so all we did was spray it with glyphosate. Then we did the winter rye at 100 pounds per acre on Labor Day. Then we did 50 pounds per acre in 2-week intervals after that and layered that right on here, and that came up real well last fall. And then this spring, the winter rye popped back up again. Had some deer out there actually eating that fresh greens. And when we got ready to do our planting out here, all I did was just kept going over it with a disc. Probably went over it 10 times because our disc doesn't do real great till it got to be mostly dirt. Well, this one section is where there's quite a lot of that red dogwood growing in there. It just didn't break up real good. You can see the soybeans just didn't quite get enough seed to soil contact in here to amount to too much. Yep, but you can see overall across the whole thing the germination rate was pretty good. Looks pretty nice. I noticed they're a little yellow here. We put on the same amount of fertilizer that we put in the upper section up there according to the soil test. I don't know why they're a little yellow, but could be nutrients. Might be because this ground was quite a lot sour because it had never had any lime on it since I've been here. So it got its first dose of lime alternative, liquid lime, this year. So that may have not brought it up enough to be able to uptake the nutrients well, or maybe maybe it needed more fertilizer. I don't know why, but it's kind of a little bit yellow. And as you can see, it's not quite as long. Of course, we planted this a week or two after the other ones. So you can see these ones are just blossoming. So we should see pods this week. And hopefully those will have time to fill out well before the first frost come and kill all the plants off. But this plot has been getting pretty heavy browse pressure from the deer. They like this one. I'll walk you down to the spot where they like to come out, and I'll show you some of the browsing. All right, I just wanted to show you some of the browse pressure. There's pretty much browse pressure across the whole thing, but these spots down by where they like to come out a lot are getting the heaviest. So you can see some chewings there, but when you get into some of these, they just take them right down good. The old soybeans still keep trying to carry on, but you can see they chew them right down pretty good. Even these taller ones, you can see they've all been chewed right off good. This whole stretch down through here, they like this lower end. Lots of browse pressure here. There seems to be more browse pressure in this plot. I don't know if it's that they like this variety of soybean better, or whether it's just the location of it, but you can see that they've been chewing on them pretty good. And there's pretty much this whole lower quarter's got that heavy browse like that, and as you move up it gets less and less. So that's where we're at right now. I'll give you another update. Another update. We'll get another update in a few weeks. I'll show you how good the pods come out. These New World soybeans are supposed to be a shatter resistant pod, so they're supposed to really hold together, even, you know, right once they get dried out, so that they last right into the winter real well once the snow comes. And those plants will stand up. Hopefully we have enough time for the pods to fill out, with these ones being behind a little bit. But we'll see how it goes. We still got, like I say, I think we'll get another month before we get any heavy frost up here on the hill. Sunflowers look great. We've got tons of soybeans over there that haven't been browsed too much, and they got pretty healthy pod. Hopefully these ones come out. I may give these a shot of glyphosate just to see how that goes, and see what these taller plants can handle with the light ATV, and see if it bothers them too much. And we'll keep you updated, see how it goes. I had a camera set up on this one for about a month, and just like everybody else has done, I'm sure, one time or another, I had it set in menu mode, so that didn't get too much. And I had a cell camera on the other one, and that doesn't seem to be working anymore either. So trying a couple different cell cams, but I got those on the bear baits right now. So I do have a few pictures of some does, but I probably won't bother to put those on. I'll just wait till fall, when we start to get some bucks and does and lots of goodness running around here. We'll get you a good update on some pictures and maybe some video. So till next time, good luck out there, and let us know how your food plots are making out.